Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss news and views about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, food, cooking, the outdoors, and more. In what's an obvious attempt to gain attention, former G4 X-Play host Indiana Frosk Black decided to go after actor Henry Cavill via her personal Twitter account. And it didn't really do a lot for her, I have to say. But, this is what she's now trying to do, given that she got booted out of G4 shortly before G4 got shut down permanently. And before we get into this, I wanted to take a moment to personally thank all the people who have recently subscribed to the channel. It's very much appreciated. Thank you very, very much. In an apparent bid to retain her relevance following the collapse of G4's recent revival attempt, former network host Indiana Frosk Black has attempted and failed to frame former Netflix's The Witcher star Henry Cavill as being problematic.
Sexism in gaming.
After 3 seasons of watching Netflix Butcher author Andrzej Sapkowski's original work, Cavill announced his exit from the streaming giant's live-action adaptation of The Witcher on October 29th. Taking to his personal Instagram account, the Superman actor informed fans that my journey as Gerald of Rivia has been filled with both monsters and adventures, and alas, I will be laying down my medallion and my swords for season 4. In my stead, the fantastic Mr. Liam Hemsworth will be taking up the mantle of the White Wolf, he then revealed. While many met this news with a mixture of emotions, ranging from regret towards the wasted potential of his casting to relief that the actor no longer had to work with such bastardized material, Frosk saw an opportunity to virtue signal. Frosk posted on her Twitter, Henry Cavill said some very questionable things around Me Too and dated a 19-year-old as a 30-plus. Seeing people throw themselves at his feet for The Witcher is weird. The show is whatever at best. Like she really knows what she's talking about. Frosk's mention of Cavill's questionable Me Too comments is a reference to an interview the actor gave to GQ Australia in 2018, 4 years ago. Asked by the publication for his thoughts on the movement, Cavill asserted, stuff has to change, obviously, before briefly pausing and subsequently adding, but there's something wonderful about a man chasing a woman. And he went on to say, I think a woman should be wooed and chased, but maybe I'm old-fashioned for thinking that, he continued. It's very difficult to do that if there are certain rules in place, because then it's like, well, I don't want to go up and talk to her because I'm going to be called an ist or something. Meanwhile, Frosk's mention of him having, quote, dated a 19-year-old, unquote, refers to Cavill's ex-girlfriend Tara King, a British woman with whom he shared a brief relationship between 2015 and 2016. While Frosk undoubtedly expected her tweet to earn her the praise and adulation of her more gender and identity politics obsessed peers, it was instead met with disagreement from nearly everyone who read it, including her own fans and supporters. Well, maybe her own fans and supporters are realizing that it's not worth being one of her fans or supporters. One person wrote, so he was in a consensual adult relationship? Sarcastically asked YouTuber Jake Randall. Horrifying. Weird way to out yourself, countered Frosk, disingenuously attempting to dismiss Randall as a creep. As someone who is 31, I can't imagine ever dating a teenager, she said, reaching for any reason to justify her original take. We are in vastly different life stages. So while it may be legal, most of those relationships are pretty icky with power imbalance. Like she knows much about relationships, and I don't even want to know whatever relationships she has had. That's kind of a disgusting thought to me. Making it clear that, quote, I follow you because I support you. I admired your rant, obviously on G4, and I think a lot of people totally missed your point. The same way I support you, I support a man that was in a loving consensual relationship with another adult. Randall once again affirmed. I don't understand the point of your tweet. What was the point of her tweet? To get attention, because she lacks it now, because she's no longer a host. She's not being seen by people. So she's trying to do it all on her own and failing miserably.
Sexism in gaming.
After having backpedaled from Cavill to akin to a you-know-what, to I personally would never date someone with whom I had such an age gap, Frosk attempted to again reframe her accusation, this time saying, when a man had a track record of pretty questionable quotes on Me Too and is dating a teenager, that's SUS. Ugh. It doesn't automatically make him a you-know-what or anything, but I find that very questionable behavior, she argued, continuing her attempts to brand Cavill with some vague notion of you-know-what. Well, it's clear that Henry Cavill did absolutely nothing wrong, because it was two consenting adults. Frosk is trying to misrepresent the relationship that Cavill had and then make false accusations against him. That's really what this boils down to, because she's trying to get attention for herself. So Frosk went on to say, there's a very popular song right now by Demi Lovato called 29, which I think covers a lot of issues with what come with those age gaps pretty clearly. But you can also read a lot of different celebrity accounts of massive age gaps in Hollywood and how that can lead to something else that's bad. Well, if she really has a problem with people having large age gaps in their relationships, I think she should just mind her own business, especially if these are people who are both consenting adults. And who is she to judge other people's relationships? She's nobody. She got thrown off of a TV show before the network itself got canceled because it was so messed up thanks to her. Still attempting to inject some sense into the conversation, Randall clarified, I'm not saying there isn't issues with age gaps. I'm 31 and also would not date a 19-year-old, but there can be issues in relationships far worse if the age is equal. There can be loving relationships with age gaps, he acknowledged. I just thought it was weird to jump on with no evidence. There is nothing wrong. Henry Cavill did absolutely nothing wrong. Frosk is just full of shit. Eventually, after having failed to gain any support from people online for her false accusations against Henry Cavill, Frosk decided to attack Gina Carano. Finding herself on the losing end of the very discourse she had sparked, Frosk then proceeded to justify her shaming of Cavill on the grounds that he briefly dated former Mandalorian star Gina Carano. It is big yikes energy, declared Frosk. Again, it's none of her business. What is she trying to demonstrate? I mean, what is wrong with Henry Cavill or anybody dating Gina Carano? That's between the two of them. There is nothing wrong with that. Ultimately, unable to truly garner any real support, Frosk concluded her wild swinging with a pathetic attempt to paint her critics as creeps. A lot of dudes out here thinking dating a teenager when they're 33 is totally fine because it's legal, she concluded. Frosk is just really, truly trying to find the slightest little thing to grab onto because she's that pathetic. She has absolutely nothing going on for herself now. G4 is gone. Her position there is long gone. The show that she hosted is dead. So now she's just trying to be a pain in the ass to everybody else. That's really all it boils down to. Thanks for watching today, and a huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and please feel free to share a comment. If you'd like to see more of our videos in the future and help support this channel, please press the red subscribe button. And please press the bell to receive notifications for new content. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.